What if I told you that one simple financial decision made in your 20s could make you a millionaire without working harder, without starting a business, and without winning the lottery? Sounds unrealistic, right? But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people spend 10 to 15 years chasing higher salaries, promotions, and side hustles while ignoring the single force that quietly creates most wealth in the world. A force so powerful that even Albert Einstein allegedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. Yet millions of people never use it. And the scary part? If you ignore it in your 20s, you might spend your 40s trying to catch up financially. So today, we're breaking down the power of compounding, how it works, why time matters more than money, and how you can start using it immediately. But first, let me tell you a story about two friends who made one tiny decision that changed their entire financial future. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one you are becoming. Point 1. The story that changes everything. Meet Alex and Jordan. Both are 22 years old. Both just graduated college. Both earn the same salary. But Alex invests $300 a month starting at age 22. Jordan decides to wait because, life happens. Rent, trips, concert tickets, that overpriced coffee that somehow costs $7 now. Jordan says, I'll start investing at 32 when I make more money. Fair enough, right? But here's where the story takes a brutal turn. Alex invests for 10 years and then stops completely at age 32. Jordan starts at 32 and invests the same amount every month until 60. Who ends up with more money? Jordan invested 3 times longer. But Alex wins by a lot. Why? Because of one thing, time. And this leads to the first rule of compounding. Point 2. Time is the real money. Most people think wealth comes from how much money you invest. That's wrong. Wealth comes from how long your money stays invested. Compounding works like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, nothing impressive happens. The snowball is small, growth is slow. Honestly, it's kind of boring. Your investments might grow a few $100, maybe a few thousand, and this is exactly when most people quit. But here's the part nobody talks about. Compounding is not linear. It's exponential, which means the real magic doesn't happen in the beginning. It happens at the end. Think of it like planting a tree. For years, it barely grows. Then suddenly, it becomes massive. And that leads to the second rule of compounding. But before we get there, quick question. Would you rather have $10 million today or one penny that doubles every day for 30 days? Your answer might reveal whether you truly understand compounding or not. Point 3. The exponential curve. Let's break that question down. One penny doubled every day for 30 days becomes over $5 million. Not $5,000, not $500,000, $5 million. And the crazy part? Most of that growth happens in the last few days. Day 20, still under $10,000. Day 25, around $300,000. Then suddenly, day 30 explodes past $5 million. This is the same curve that builds fortunes in the stock market, which means something important. The biggest financial mistake young people make is interrupting compounding, selling investments early, jumping between strategies, trying to time the market, or worse, not investing at all. And here's where things get dangerous. Because there's an invisible enemy quietly working against you. Point 4. The silent wealth killer. It's not the stock market. It's not taxes. It's not even inflation. It's time wasted. Every year you delay investing, you're not just missing returns, you're destroying future compounding. Think about it this way. If you start investing at 22, you have nearly 4 decades of compounding. If you start at 32, you lose an entire decade of exponential growth. And compounding doesn't forgive delays. You can't catch up easily later. Because by the time most people start taking investing seriously, the most powerful compounding years are already gone. Which brings us to the question most people ask next. How much money do I actually need to start? And the answer might surprise you. Point 5. You don't need to be rich. Here's the biggest myth about investing. You need a lot of money to start. That's completely false. The real secret of compounding isn't large amounts. It's consistent amounts. Invest $5,000 once or invest $300 every month for decades. The second strategy almost always wins because compounding rewards discipline, not intelligence. You don't need to predict markets. You don't need complicated strategies. You don't even need to check your investments every day. quickly. In fact, the investors who check their portfolios the least often perform the best. Why? Because they don't interrupt the compounding process, which leads us to the most powerful realization in this entire video. And once you understand this, you'll never look at money the same way again. Point 6. The ultimate wealth strategy. Wealth isn't built by chasing money. It's built by owning assets that compound over time. Stocks, index funds, businesses, real estate, anything that grows while you sleep. The goal is simple. Turn your money into employees that work for you 24/7. Because every dollar invested today is a worker building your future wealth. Ignore compounding and you'll always trade time for money. Master compounding and money starts working for you. But here's the twist. Compounding doesn't just apply to money. It applies to skills, habits, knowledge, and discipline. Small actions repeated daily create massive results over decades, and that's the real power behind it. Right now, there are two types of people watching this video. The ones who understand compounding and the ones who will understand it 10 years too late. The difference between those two groups is a decision made today. If you want to go deeper into this concept and learn how compounding can literally turn small investments into massive wealth, so subscribe to the channel that you get the first notification of the videos. In those videos, I break down real examples of how compounding creates millionaires. Trust me, once you see those numbers, you'll never delay investing again. I'll see you there.